You know, sometimes, sometimes, sometimes you just got to give somebody their flowers. You just got to. Sometimes you got to give them their flowers. And it's sad. It's sad that it took this long. I think it's sad that it took this long. I do. Like, to think I think it's crazy to think that it's crazy to think that some people actually believe. Um, I'm not surprised. Some men believe that the only way they can be a man. What's going on, Brownie? Um, they need women to stand up for them. Let me go get my tea. Um, this is why a lot of men, especially black men, are so bitch made. This is why it's hard to refute sometimes that black women probably do run black male society now. Black men like a black woman telling them what to do in these spaces. They feel like that's possibly the best way towards getting back their masculinity is the black woman telling them how best way to be a man. I can't make this up. I can't. There's this is by far they have either A, signed with women that have told them go fuck yourself, you ain't shit, or B, signed with women saying black men, you're kings and gods, we love you, black women ain't shit, and make sure you cash at me for saying that. And it's no secret that we now know that I think my coalition of people, of men, black men, this is why they're lost. Let me I gotta share this. I have to share this properly. Hang on, let me make sure I share it properly. Could y'all do me a favor? Like the video. There you go. So, what's up, Viper? What's up, everyone? Just give me a second. I gotta just switch over. I just gotta switch over and just fix my stuff. But yeah, I don't know why, but I think it's so bad that literally anybody that says what black men want to hear, and this is not me picking because I am a black man myself, but I don't want no saving from a woman to tell me how I'm special. I need like that was my mom. My mom did that when I was a youngin', when I became a teenager. Once I started getting older, I'm like, Mom, stop. I don't, you're good. Well, baby, no, stop. No more pinching the cheek, no more kisses. I'm good. I can take my lumps. I got it. Every girl's not gonna see me as a Prince Charming. I got it. I'm not gonna always be the smartest one getting A pluses. I'm not gonna always be that. And I know y'all say, oh, be into you down. No, I have realistic ideals of goals. I didn't need mommy. I didn't need daddy. Good job, son. Like, this is this space. This space right here is holistically, they needed men to have women come in and tell them how they are men. That's why this space failed. That's holistically why this space failed. Men needed to be on panels and have a mental joust with women, so that way they can prove their talking points. Um, Here we go. Y'all, I gotta be honest. And when I look at this, I want to have a shot towards Truism. Because he's one of the very few dudes that actually get on the panel. Y'all can never topple Cynthia G. Because the men support Cynthia G. The men in this space support Cynthia G. You can never topple Nyla Says, because Nyla is supported by men. You can never get rid of Bomb Cherry because men love Bomb Cherry. You can never get rid of a Jessica X because the men support and will die for Jessica X. Any woman that y'all so-called suffocated and do not like, they're never going to get, you can't get rid of them because the men have spoken. They choose that of women that they want to lead them. And I understand. I have no problem with that. I don't. Because I understood it. I understood it for what it was. The black men of this space are more accepting of a woman telling them how they are special, how they're needed. Y'all need a Kendra G. You need what's that lady? The Lion, Red Lion. Y'all like a woman who says you men are special. You men are needed. You men, the black woman is bad. She's fucked up. I know, understand. Shout out, y'all like the Concrete Rose and Sister George. Y'all love them. Y'all gave the keys willingly. And honestly, I know people gonna say, "Well, who's gonna check us or who's gonna stop us?" I mean, nobody. If anything, they checked you in. They checked you into the hotel. Same men that were bitching about the women supported the same women that were the archetype of what they were complaining about. That made no sense to me. How? Because this was never about men's agency. This never was. It never was about that. This was something about that of self-gratification, of having that connectivity towards that. I don't know, white women, we kicked them out this space. Well, no, last night we got rid of them out the space. I think so. I have to give the biggest honorable respect to Truism. And I know a lot of y'all don't like him, but he's one of the very few who had the balls to tell a bitch shut up and actually say the truth. Truism. Respect to you, man. I got to give respect to Truism. Granted, listen, y'all. Black men want women to tell them that they're special. The men of this space always want women to say it's okay, regardless of how you look, how you are. If you're a failure, your daddy didn't fuck with you, your mommy never loved you. Fuck all that. It's these bitches' fault why they don't see you. I see you. I've never needed to go to a woman's channel. I don't trust no fucking woman that gets on a platform to go after women. I don't trust that because that literally goes against that of the nature of a woman. So when they start talking about women's rights and all that shit, and literally they start going on that blah, 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 and women need to do this, women need to do that, I'm like, that bitch is an opt. She's an opt. She's an opt. There's no way. That's like me as a man going against talking and hoping that the death of all of men and all that shit. Like when men start doing that shit, I side-eye them like, what happened to you to get you to that level? What's up, educated Eric? We can have an agreement to call out some fuckery or some buffoonery over this fuck shit, call it out. We can agree on that. The problem is this. The black men of the black manosphere depended on women to hopefully, yes, cheers, depended on women to lead them to that of a y'all scared. It took the white manosphere, MGTOW, and I got to give a shout out to MGTOW. MGTOW said, why the fuck would we want women in our space telling us how to be men? I can't expect black men to understand that agency. I can't expect that. I could never expect that from you black men. Y'all been led by women for so fucking long that y'all need a woman to lead y'all even now. That's why y'all are so fucking weak when it comes to politics, when it comes to business, when it comes to leading a home, when it comes to leading self-government, when it comes to leading a fucking goddamn school fucking meeting. You might as well go call a fucking black woman. You can't call these black men. Don't listen to all these motherfuckers who say that they got education and all this other stupid shit. Like, I'm understanding that you just have to be the life asshole and say, bitch, shut the fuck up. And y'all can say, well, damn, BMG, I didn't know you're so misogynistic. Yeah, I'm a fucking man. Misogyny is our DNA. When I'm talking to men, I'm not looking for women to speak. This is just between us men to talk. Whenever it's about the men, talk about men's rights, men's advocacy, men's bills, men's protection, gun rights, any kind of shit, that's men. I'm not looking for no woman to jump out with a katana or some blade like this is the Walking Dead shit. Y'all are on that fucking kumbaya shit. I never was there. Y'all need y'all queens. I don't need that queen shit. This is why black men of the manosphere will never get no respect. I don't give a how many panels y'all have y'all circle jerks off to about how y'all are leading, how y'all are making babies and all that shit. Y'all are full of fucking shit. Y'all want bitches to accept y'all. Y'all want the validation of these goddamn shaggles, daggles, faggles, whatever the fuck y'all call them. Y'all want them on the pedestal. And I don't give a fuck. Y'all say, BMT, your platform is gone against anti-women. I don't give a flying fuck. At the end of the day, you're not my bitch. So anything a woman has to say on social media has no conduence of what me or bearing my children or feeding me or fucking me, nothing. I'm letting you know right now, it doesn't. When it comes time for the end of the world, guess what? I'm not looking to a bunch of women and say, hey, what should we do? No, I'm gonna say, hey guys, listen, y'all, men, we gotta go hunt. We gotta start building up this fucking fort. All you women need to start taking care of the children and shit. Fuck it, we going back to prehistoric ages. All y'all need to do is take care of the children, fucking breed, and goddamn make sure my clothes are clean and the meat is goddamn procured. So when I get back, we can cook the fucking meat. And it took that of a fucking man to have to tell a bitch on the panel, yo, shut the fuck up. I get it. Y'all don't get, these women only come to y'all space just to get that of the validation of you fucking men. That's all they came here for. What woman who is happy in her life? Listen, this is why you got to question. This is the thing you got to question. How is a woman leading and telling men about other women, but where the fuck is her man? Ain't no woman. I want you to think, and then you got to think, but this is how you know you motherfuckers don't come from a home, a solid home. Ain't no fucking woman that's in the home with her man giving a fuck about the woes of other men. She got one man and children to take care of. What's going on, Cool Kamasi? What's going on, Truism? I'm so proud of Truism. Y'all don't fucking know. I was singing and drinking fucking whiskey, and I shot 2 shots off for that motherfucker. But I said, finally, a motherfucker told a bitch to shut the fuck up, and we get it for what it is. I got to get the gulag game to fucking point. I can't look to the black men of these spaces because, honestly, y'all need the fucking women to tell you how to be a fucking goddamn man. In the back chats, having our little gossip talk. Yeah, baby. So you know what? I ain't feel what he was saying to you anyway. You know, he should have never talked to you like that in pen. Like, y'all look so fucking corny. Like, why is it that the fucking MGTOW had got it automatic off the rip saying, yo, bro, why do we have fucking women on our panels telling us the agency of how to be fucking men? Y'all don't get it. The women, the Melanie Kings, the Kendras, what else fucking women y'all got that y'all give all y'all praise to and shit? I don't trust no woman that has made her foundation, her platform on going after women. And men so weak-minded. Oh God. She said that women aren't shit. It doesn't make any fucking sense. That goes against that of the nature of how they think. When a man said, yo, keep my name out your fucking mouth. I think people lost their cognitive fucking sense. I can agree with a talking point, but bitch, you're not my fucking woman to protect. I want y'all to understand that. Y'all are not my woman to protect. Not nobody. If the internet is too hot for you, get the fuck off. Take a break like I do. I take breaks. I don't like, no. There must be something about this space where women like jumping on. And I'm sorry, man. You be seeing the goddamn bussified simps every fucking goddamn week. Like, I mean, y'all dudes be going hard. Like, y'all, I mean, I already be looking at the men like already side-eyed that be going hard trying to get men to look a certain type of way. But this goddamn kumbaya nigga space is stupid as fuck. Like, you can't make this shit up. And I know y'all gonna say, well, here you go, BT bashing black men. No, if you're stupid, you're stupid. I never asked for women to save me. I've never. Nick, I got me a fucking Springfield, a goddamn Colt, a goddamn a Glock. Bitch, I can save myself, bro. You got men jump on the panel, BNT, you don't look that, you ugly as fuck. Like, bitch, I'm not trying to fuck you. Like, y'all, it's so bad. The men have adopted fucking women talking points. Show the receipt. That's something a bitch say. Use the dusty. What the fuck is a dusty? The men now talk like the bitches. That's how bad y'all have been integrated. Y'all integrated into the fucking woman system. I can't even get mad at the. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad at the women anymore. I'm not mad at women anymore. I'm not mad at women. I'm not even mad at women anymore. I'm not. Y'all ladies, y'all won. Y'all have successfully conquered the black mantle. Y'all have conquered the black bussy spear. This is not called the manosphere. This is called the gender spear. This is called the gender spear. It is not the manosphere. It's called the gender spear. Stop calling a man space. This is a gender space where anybody can come in. Nobody gives a fuck. This is not a man space. This is why the white men don't want shit to do with y'all. And I agree. I can understand why no fucking other agency of men say, stay y'all fucking asses the fuck over there. If y'all want to be led by your bitch, then let me talk to your bitch instead. But it seems like they got more clout to getting y'all in line. Now, I done gone toe-to-toe with every other damn faction in this space. And I never said, I need a fucking woman to save me. No, bitch, I'm going to just fight it out. Put my guard up, put my back against the wall, and I'm just going to start duking it out. Fuck it. If I take my licks, I take my licks. But I go out like a fucking man. And I bumped head with plenty of people. But I never asked for a woman to save me. But you know what the downfall of a lot of this space is? Y'all always, there's always at the epicenter, there's always a bitch at the epicenter of every one of y'all buffoonery. Every time. Every time. And when y'all get caught up with these fucking women, they always start showing all kind of shit about y'all. Well, this man hit on me. He's a fucking man. Of course he was going to hit on you. But he has a family. Okay, but he hit on you. He flirted with you. He's a fucking man. I don't give a fuck. You don't care? No, I don't. He's a fucking man. You showing him some tits. What do you think was going to happen? He's a fucking man. You think he's supposed to be gay? You show him the tits, he's going to get fucking aroused. Why the fuck you? If you go, listen, ladies, I'm going to tell y'all a little secret. I'm going to tell y'all something that we used to tell the women. You come into the boys' locker room, the smoke room where we smoke our cigars, drink our fucking whiskey, and cuss and spit on the floor and shit. You're going to get your ass smacked when you walk right by one of us. You're going to deal with some fucking goddamn masculine macho man shit. Y'all don't have to fucking like it. Just don't come in the fucking room. There's a reason why we tell the ladies know better to bring the food, to bring the sandwiches to the door, give it to the man, say, here you go, see you guys later, and walk about her fucking business. Y'all wanted to badly be on these fucking panels to try to tell men X, Y, and Z, expect the bullshit to happen. I don't need no bitch to tell me about feminism. What's she gonna do? She's a female. Feminism is part of her. How's a woman going to tell me about the home and then I'm going to be like, well, where the fuck is your man? But there's no way you could be on a panel with a bunch of men at the late of the fucking night and your man is in his bed. What kind of bussified bitch man are you dealing with? It'll be a cold. And see, no, I don't think these men actually get that. How is any honorable woman on a panel with a bunch of men for 3 to 5 hours? When the fuck do you wash clothes, cook, clean, help your kids with the fucking homework, do any kind of household duties? I respect the woman that says, hey, guys, It was fun talking with y'all for like an hour or chopping up with y'all while I'm on my break. I gotta go. My man's about to get home. And I know a few women who are like that. But I side-eye the women that are on panels for hours talking with other men. But they say they have a man. That's a Jezebel. That's a Jezebel. I know somebody gonna say, BNT, you're insecure. What's wrong with your woman talking? See, shut that bitch ass shit up. That's why a lot of y'all are so fucking weak. Ain't no woman worth her weight in salt is going to entertain other men while she has a fucking old man. If anything, a woman who has a man that she respects, she's not going to hang in the faces of other men. Thank you. I got a man. But she knows how that looks. Well, how does that look for me to be in front of other men while I have a man? Can't make this shit up, bro. That's why I said the talk of feminism. Listen, it's so easy to like circle jerk off Negroes. They're stupid. Hell, we get the incels. We get the goddamn bussified weak men of the goddamn era, man. But women, honorable women, do not hang in front of the face of men, especially strangers that they don't know. I don't know where y'all have been, but I know women. When men are going out and walking down the street of the Abbey, they take their ass aside. What's going on? Any woman that has a man, she's not going to hang in the face of other men. That's a fact. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Don't try to feed me some goddamn slut talking points. No, real fucking women do not hang with other men that they don't fuck with. Don't give a fuck what you can say. Hey, baby, I pay. No, 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 no. But I know how that's going to be interpreted. They're not going to. They don't even want no praise. They'll probably say thank you, but they're going to go about their way. They got too much shit going on. Kids, washing clothes, getting work from work. They're not going to do that. Any woman that's with her any woman that respects her fucking man is not going to hang in the faces of other men. I question, does she actually respect her man? I look at that like, So when she's telling me how men should be, I'm looking at her side eye like, if you're telling me how men should be, if you're telling me how men should be, then why the fuck ain't you with your man? See, I'm trying to run to y'all how real men actually think. I'm telling you how real men think. I could drop the link. This is why I'm being honest. Listen, black men, I'm gonna tell you right now. The reason why you are not receiving respect from other men is because y'all let y'all women always have to tell you. And I understand why the women talk the shit. They're like, well, shit. The men like being told what the fuck to do. So shit, listen, if you're gonna give anybody the chance to tell you what the fuck to do, punch you around, push you around, drag you, fucking take your money and shit, I'm gonna talk all kind of shit to you. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be reckless as fuck. I am. One thing I'm gonna say, listen, bro, I'm going out burning with glory. I'm going out with style. I'm no fuck that. My pride as a man is too strong. Y'all don't run no shit to me. What about your daughters? What about this? What? Fuck you. I am going down with my pride. I will be the prince of king of my household. Fuck that. I don't even know why Vegeta keep calling him the Prince of Saiyans. He's the fucking king. Stupid. I don't get. I really don't. I don't. I think Sally. This is why this space has failed. Like the men never really wanted to actually sit with men and actually say, hey, let's self-govern ourselves. When you hear men say, who's going to lead the black manosphere? I'm like, bitch, you a fucking man. Why would any man want another man to lead them? I think that's repulsively sick. I think that's fucking weak. I think that's a man that's afraid. I think that's a man. I think that's a man that's afraid. I really believe that's a man that's fucking afraid. I never understand why are you rambling so early in the day? Well, why the fuck are you listening to me? Take your ass to sleep. I never understood why motherfuckers keep asking for leadership. If you're a fucking man, no man who is running his own shit would ever act for a leader. You are a fucking man. Be one. When y'all say, well, who's going to lead the black community? Everybody has a leader. The fuck you talking about? That's that stupid. That's, you know who says who needs a leader? A fucking woman. A fucking woman asks for a leader. Now you have men so badly fucking bussified bitch made. Now they asking for fucking leaders. Y'all still waiting for daddy to come home? You still waiting for daddy to get the cigarettes? Still waiting for daddy to lead you? You're a fucking grown-ass man. There's nothing a woman can tell me about that. Well, everybody needs a leader. No, the fuck you don't. When you're a fucking grown-ass man, you pay your own bills. You fucking accountable for taking care of your own goddamn self. I never asked for no fucking leader. I don't have no leader. Now, X, do you have a fucking leader?
Not the last time I checked. What's good with it, brother BMT?
What's going on, X? Welcome. I am drinking a shot. Y'all had a beautiful stream. Beautiful stream. Salute to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
man,
the Hulk out, man. My man A Truism, man.
I could do
brother
nothing.
A Truism is something else.
Listen, bro. It made me feel. It had me almost shed a tear to see some form of goddamn masculinity say, "Bitch, shut the fuck up." Men don't need a woman to tell them some shit. Like I was like,
yeah. Notice I just let it go. I mean,
yep.
Let's let it go.
Yep.
I mean, that's
kind
of what it is.
No.
Why would I? Why would I?
No.
I mean,
I was like, don't you stop this. Don't you dare stop this. I promise you, I will call you and curse you out. Let this shit happen. She wants to step in the midst of.
I'm going to be honest with you, and I've said this many times before. You know, when situations like that happen, you know, I just throw on my Bluetooth headphones and I head outside of my deck and have a cigar and a beer, and I just listen. I don't even be near the computer. You know, I'm out back.
I just grabbed my whiskey. I literally went outside and shot 2 shots off for y'all. I said, finally, men, pop. I said, God damn it, finally, men, just being get. Brother X, I had to ask you. Do you think a lot of these men depend too strongly on that of the women's agency to make them feel like men?
I think a lot of men, well, at least it appears on YouTube, that a lot of dudes like to have the female approval. You know, they seek female approval. They don't want to say certain things about them, and if they say things to them, you know, they like to tiptoe. You know, they kind of follow the narrative of, you know, whatever goes on with the woman is something that's happening to her, even if the outcome is directly related to her own actions and her own decisions. They still make it seem like this thing happened to her. All right. And it wasn't done by her. It happened to her. It was an incident. It was a situation that inflicted her, like some type of disease or virus. You know, I think there's a lot of that. Because I have women that come on, you know, on my channel from time to time. But they know the deal there. They know that coming there, you're not gonna get a certain type of validation. I'm not gonna stop Negroes from saying what they want to say to you. I'm not gonna do it. All right, I'm not. I'm just not. They're gonna be able to say whatever the hell they want. You know what you walking into. All right, and I let them know as such. I'm like, look, I'm probably not the one that's gonna bit you and hold you and cunt you and all that shit, but the guys that hang around here, beware. All right, because I'm not gonna try to filter the brothers. I'm not gonna be like, oh, don't talk to her like that. No, you walk in here amongst these dudes, what you see is what you get. So as long as you have that understanding as a female coming up on TPOT, I don't mind you coming in there talking, but don't think you're gonna come in there and part the channel like like Moses parted the Dead Sea. I mean the Red Sea. I mean, don't think that's gonna happen just because you're there with your freaking vagina. I mean, that's no, it's not gonna happen. So I guess that's why I don't have many. I don't have many women that come up on my channel, but the ones that do, they understand, how it goes down. And if you're coming in here, you better have some alligator skin because dudes aren't going to show you a whole bunch of deference, and it depends on who you are too. That's part of it as well. It depends on who you are. I mean, you
Now,
can't just come up on TPOT and expect to get all this deference from the brothers. It's not going to happen.
now I got a question next. I've heard you shut down women and kick them off when they get disrespectful.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. They get out of line. Yeah, they get out of line. I'll throw them off my shit. Yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
do you make it where as to they is it where the men can be men, or is it hey I want it to where the men can be men, the women can be women, whatever the fuck it is? Do you feel like? But I know I watched you had the honorable Cesar Ali on there. She did an
Yes,
amazing job.
who is a friend of mine. I know Sister Ali. All right, I've known her for shit like a decade. I literally know this woman. I literally do. I mean, we talk pretty frequently. So,
Right.
but when I have her on, it's just her and I.
Yeah, it's just
I
you.
don't. Yeah, I've never had her on with other people, and now I wouldn't allow her to be disrespected at all as a guest. Because I've shut that down where women have
Yes,
called
yes.
in and tried to disrespect her. I kicked them right the hell up off of there because she's literally a friend of mine. All right, we in a different realm now. When you talk about a friend of mine, but these people on the internet, man, we don't really know each other, brother. So it's like women. I'm only going to give them so much leeway, and then I had this conversation with the woman before, and I think you were there. And she was like, "Oh, X, you're unfair to the females, et cetera, et cetera. You don't give us enough talk time and all that shit." And I explained it to her. I said, "Look, I said, regardless of anything else, I will let you women come on here. I will let you, talk and all that." I said, "But the brothers are going to get more leeway than you. I mean, that's just what it is.
Right.
You call it what you want to call it. I'm not going to let you get away with the same shit that I let brothers get away with. I'm just not going to do it. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. You charge me with something, and I plead guilty to said charge. Yes, I plead guilty, but
Right.
this is what it's going to be. All right, because I don't think women should be able to have the same deference as men do. All right, especially not on TPOT. No, we don't do that shit. All right, I've been there, done that before. You give them a lot of rope and all that kind of shit. No, all right, all right, you're not going to get the same deference on my channel that the brothers get. You're just not. I mean, and you have to have that understanding if you're going to come on as a female. Because depending who's up there, I mean, you might fuck around and just get harpooned depending on who's up on that stream. And if you understand that, you're welcome to come on through. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Okay. We're joined by also the Snowman, I know we had a female. She requested that she wanted to come up and speak her piece. That's fine. You want to speak your piece? I'm just letting you know it's a misogyny heavy panel. I'm not stopping none of the men. You can come up if you want. I just want you to know it's fucking goddamn dudes are pissing right out fucking in the stream, so they're gonna be men. The thing about it was this. I had the assumption that I was coming amongst men, X. Welcome, Snowman. That men that wanted to find jobs, have self-agency, self-govern themselves, be men amongst men. And when I say men amongst men, that doesn't mean you got to be over other men, but it just means you just be your own man. You know what I'm saying? You walk in at the fair with your family, you're walking with your guys, and y'all just having a good time. You see other guys, hey, what's up, man? Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's men amongst men. I'm not sure what the fuck y'all call it these days, but for me, I don't ever feel no type of way about any man money. Men getting online telling about how much money they make, how good they look, how many bitches they fuck, what kind of job they got, any kind of shit. That has no impact upon me as being a man. I don't know how other men feel, but that never had any type of weight upon me. I never saw ever felt some type of way being around guys. I make 6 or 7 figures, and I also work. X be like, still smoking a cigar. Snowman and me talked about firearms. We hashed things out. We talked amongst men. We let it. We handle that. I
think you're touching on a really serious topic right there too. That defines the difference between men and women. Men are able to have disagreements with each other. They're able to have altercations. They're also able to sit back and have discussions with each other as men and find the error of their individual ways and make a resolution for that. You don't find that in female nature very often. Female nature, they want to hold grudges. They want to constantly dig things up from the past that you thought you have already resolved and use that as now new ammunition towards an entirely different disagreement or altercation that you're having. Personally, I think it's great that I see more men stepping up and allowing their voice to be heard and telling these women, I don't need you as a woman to tell me as a man how to be a man. You first need to figure out how to be a woman first, how to be a proper and correct woman before you have any, in my opinion, any right to tell a man how to be a man. You know, I've noticed that in the last decade of the quote unquote men's rights movements that have been going on, because they've really picked up in the last decade. You see a lot of quote unquote men's right activist women that like to come into these men's rights spaces where men are just trying to give each other advice or share their own personal experiences with each other. That way other young men or men that are, starting the process of something another man has already been through. You see these women coming in, white knighting for men, acting like that they're, they see what the problem and the issue and what's going on. And then what ends up happening is what we have now in the manosphere, a bunch of women getting up on panels telling men how to be men and completely not even acknowledging the bullshit that comes from the woman's side and acting as if all of that is the men's fault too. Kudos to all you men for, putting your foot down and saying, no, enough's enough. Shout out to misogyny, like Conservative and Free Zone said. If you don't like misogyny and you don't like hearing men talk misogynistic, you know what? You have a clicker. Change the fucking channel.
I would want to say, I think a lot of dudes don't feel like men unless they have that of a woman. And the women are now understanding that. The women are now understanding that. Like they do. Like y'all are not understanding. Women can smell that of weak men. That's why men have no problem sending women to go infiltrate other men. See what secrets you can get out of him. See, I shit you not, bro. Like a lot of the craziest wars, I can promise you, there was some bitch there in that fucking war, going around doing some kind of fucking La Femme Nikita shit. And when I see a lot of this shit happening now, and just follow me on this. I've been on panels with X. What I've seen women try to get us riled up. And X is like, hold the fuck up. I've been on panels with Snowman where they try to be seductive and seductive. Snowman like, what the fuck are you doing? Yo, I'm trying to tell y'all right now, you are in a space where women they're out here fucking on a hunt like hyenas. Hyenas run the pack for even men. The hyena females are actually bigger than the men. They're actually more dominant. And the shit about it is, you had it where the woman was saying what men who were in a duress. And see, this is why I tell a lot of y'all men, y'all need to stop just jumping online, telling all your fucking problems. I get it.
A big fact. Big fact there.
Y'all got problems at home. Y'all jump online and y'all start drinking out the fucking bottle and y'all start talking all your shit and you don't know who the fuck you talking to. And then all of a sudden you got some bitch who's at a bar and she's going to instantly pick up on your shit and she's going to say, how can I run the game on snow? Oh, X, you having problems in your home with your woman? It's okay. It's okay. I got you. I'll make you feel like a man. And guess what? Now you cash apping the bitch. Now all of a sudden you talking about flying out the bitch. Now all of a sudden she got you by the balls and trying to extort you and shit. Now all of a sudden, oh shit. Now your platform done been fucked up and changed. And I watch so many fucking men in these goddamn spaces always get the gimme hook.
There's a lot of truth to that.
Always. I'm so serious, bro. It's like every platform I've been on, somehow the fucking bitches have somehow ran game and now running the shit. And if you say anything to any of the women, they got a problem with you.
Well, these things usually come full circle, brother. If you dial it back a few years, and the things that brothers talked about, up here, you and also including myself, we caught a lot of heat early on, especially from the females. We caught a lot of heat because of the things that we were saying. And now you fast forward to 2022, you hear a lot of these women saying the same things that they railed on the brothers about 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. So basically what they've done is they brought it full circle. And now they're the ones sitting up there telling people how men should be men and how women should be women, et cetera, et cetera. But see, this is the thing. I think this is what a lot of these women wanted all along. They wanted to be the voices saying, X, Y, and Z. They wanted to be the voices trying to correct people. Because let us be clear, man. I mean, inside black society, for the most part, these women, kind of dictate the tide of where black society heads for the most part. All right. Number one, they control all the children. Number two, they vote more than black men do. Number three, there's more than walking around on this earth than us. All right. These are just statistical facts. So, when you have them already in a state where they're kind of dictating, how black society moves, I'm not surprised to see it on the internet where they're the ones sitting up there doing the same thing that they criticize people like Tommy Sotomayor for, people like Kevin Samuels for, You know, people like you, people like me, people like the Obsidians of the world and the Angry Mans of the world and the Black Rams of the world and, you know, everybody else. I can go on and on and on. So I'm not surprised to see it come full circle and have these women sitting up there, not just regurgitating talking points, but also bastardizing talking points of men that they once, you know, criticized and cried about and complained about and tried to destroy their media presence about. So I'm not surprised to see it come full circle now because imitation is the purest form of flattery. And I think there's a lot of imitation going on now with a lot of these females that are now, you know, on these media platforms. They're imitating men and they're skewing. They are skewing the message. They're skewing it. You know, they are skewing it because not only are they adding to the message, I think the most crucial thing is that they're taking something away from the message. And that is the real issue when you think about it.
I gotta say, I agree with Teapot on that one, man. You know, I've been on a lot of these panels where I sit and watch a group of men that'll be sitting and having a productive conversation. You know, they may not be agreeing with everything, which you don't have to agree with everything with each other in order for it to be a productive conversation. But nonetheless, you will be having a productive conversation that is moving in a specific direction. And I can't count how many times I've watched it happen on your streams, my streams, David's streams. You know, it's happened a couple times on Teapot streams where you'll have a woman that'll come up on a panel and all she does is come up there and disrupt and go out of her way to make sure that the entire stream or the direction that it was headed is uprooted, and now she's controlling the pace of the conversation.
I think the thing about it is this, and I'm gonna say this. And I noticed this, and I noticed this. The thing about it is this: a lot of dudes, a lot of them are used to being led by a woman, and whatever validation that they didn't get from their mom, they didn't get from the bitch that they were trying to fuck, baby mama, granny, whatever fucking goddamn woman. They're trying to seek it online. Maybe it was a broad that said, "Oh my God, like X, I love your voice. Oh my God, BMT, you look special. Snowman, I love the way you stand up to these men." Like I've heard it fucking all. And y'all gonna say, "Well, BMT, you're not in your right mind." No, I'm very much in my right mind. It's just that when men have said the shit before, y'all have fought us. Now you have it where I'm gonna tell you right now, you are never, none of you motherfucking men are ever gonna be able to jump up on a female panel and check them bitches. But I have watched it where the fucking bitches have got out of line, jumped on y'all panels, and punked y'all punk asses. I don't got no problem kicking the fucking women off my panel. I don't. It doesn't bother me. Doesn't. When they start getting out of pocket, crazy, it's cool. That's why I'm solo dolo. I'm very fine with. I'm very good by myself, but I understand that who knows better being than me. Y'all have it where the women, they said what you wanted to hear. That is rule one of being a fucking woman, trying to scavenge resources. Say what the fucking stronger alpha wants to hear. Do y'all not know the story of Samson and Delilah? Samson and Delilah was a perfect story. Samson could have easily crushed that bitch head.
She talked him into cutting
But
his
he
hair
let
off,
his
so he
ego.
lost his power.
Right. He let his ego. He kept fucking with the same bitch. And the problem is, y'all see what the women are doing. Y'all still choose to fuck with them.
Well, and if you look at the story of Joseph in the Bible, you know, it was the Pharaoh's wife that tried to come after Joseph, and when Joseph denied her, she had him arrested.
She had him arrested and put in fucking jail. And you know what's bad about it? Pharaoh knew his wife was a slut. The problem, here's the thing about it. And this is the scary thing about it, X Snow. The men would rather attack y'all rather than confront the bitch. And the women know that. So after the women done did their damage, done got their clout, done got the views, done got the subscribers, done got X, Y, and Z off for y'all, they said, well, shit, let them fight. They're going to come to me. They're going to jump on your panels. Well, let me tell you what they do. I done watched these motherfuckers. I done watched every archetype of fucking woman on these platforms do the same shit to all of you fucking men, even me.
Even me, man. We've all been victim of it.
So after a while, I'm like, what do we owe these fucking women? And y'all can say, I don't give a fuck. If y'all say, BMT, we never want to fuck you again, nigga, I don't give a flying motherfucking nigga monkey fuck. Honestly, listen, y'all, I don't know why I'm still growing. I've been trying to kill my channel for the longest. I told X when he retires, nigga, I am right behind you, bro. I will gladly shut this shit down. I am so done with this dumb ass space. This space,
YouTube's gonna die before you do.
No. This space means no good. This space does not mean no good for the agency of men, black men. Y'all have fucking been thrown off fucking rules. Listen. This space is fucking evil.
I agree with that.
This is no space for men. This is not a space for X. They never gave a shit about blue collar men, hardworking men, family patriarchy. This is not space. I'm telling y'all right now. This is anti-establishment at its best. I watch church bitches twerk and grind and then talk about Jesus in the next breath. How the fuck does that work? I'm like, yo, dude, this space is crazy.
I've seen them twerk in the church. Do you remember when I did that stream and I had those videos of the chicks twerking inside the church?
Oh my god!
Like, you can't shame these women, X. You cannot shame.
Nah,
you can't shame these women, bro. Like you can't. There's nothing y'all can do to shame these bitches, bro. They're in a point of supremacy. You can't supreme. You can't. You can't shame bitch supremacy, bro.
How can you shame something that's created from shame?
Well, you know what it is. You know what it is, brother BMT. This is what happens often. You have these broads who travel from, chat room to chat room. They'll travel from stream to stream, right? And they will get on brothers' streams, and not all brothers are the same. All right, we don't all operate the same. We don't all operate, our streams the same. And they'll go there and they'll say, be able to get up there and say all kinds of mess and cut folks out and cut people off and do all this kind of nonsense. And then what happens is they'll come to my stream, or they'll come to your stream, or they'll come to someone else's stream, and guess what? That shit don't fly. So, if you kind of check them on that, they're shocked because they're so used to being around dudes on a stream where they're allowed to do whatever the hell they want. And see, they expect that everywhere they go. So when they find themselves somewhere where that shit is not tolerated or allowed, it takes them aback. But that's kind of how the whole system is, right? I mean, a lot of these brothers that are online now, they are saying things that a lot of females are just, let's be honest, they're not used to hearing it. All right. They're not used to hearing it from men. They're not used to being talked to like this about men, because we live in this world where you're supposed to respect women. Women are this, women are that. You're supposed to show them some type of deference, even the hoes you don't know. You're supposed to let them scream on you and yell at you because you're a man, she's a woman. You're supposed to just sit there and suck it up and allow her to be a jackass. But see, a lot of brothers on this side of things don't believe that. They don't believe that. So I think it's kind of a shock to the system to a lot of these women, because they come up on certain dudes and they realize, all right, they realize that, you know, they're not going to get showed that deference. No one's going to move around and be like, oh, you know, let her talk, you know, don't talk to her that way. Don't, you know, because you hear people talk about this protection piece, right? Well, oh, women aren't protected. Women aren't protected. Number one, there's no protecting nobody online. All right. Let us be clear. Because I close my goddamn laptop, everybody goes away. So there's no protecting anybody online. But what brothers do have a tendency to do up here is defend women. All right. Now that you're capable of doing here, especially if you're on the stream with a bunch of other brothers and you say, oh man, don't talk to her like that. Oh, don't call her a bitch. Don't do this. Don't do that. You know, you do have the ability to verbally defend women up here. And I think a lot of times women, they get it crossed up with this whole protection online. All right. They get it crossed up with this whole protection online, man. Like, I mean, come on, man. You know, ain't nobody protecting your ass out in the real world. So how the hell you think somebody going to be able to protect you up here? How? It's like virtually impossible, man. It's not going to happen. All right. And when these women walk into these spaces of particular brothers, they have to understand that, or they just need to stay their ass up off the stream. They need to just stay their ass up off the stream. Period. Pretty cut and dry, man.
One of the things about it is this, X, and I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of the beefs has either been that of men seeking the validation and chasing after that of women or clout validate, and that says a lot. And I'm trying to be so for real about it, man. Like the way how I've never seen women argue back and forth about that, the validation of a man. I've never seen the women do that, but I have seen the men. And this is how you know the women got a lot of these motherfuckers by the balls. They done fucking cuckold a lot of dudes. Dudes will go to war for a fucking woman that literally does not give a flying nigga fuck about you. And honestly, I don't get mad at it because at my time on this earth, I done seen niggas shoot. I done seen men shoot another man for a bitch he don't even know.
Absolutely.
I done seen men punch, fight, or backstab their own friends to get that of the validation of a woman. And honestly, the woman at the end of the day, she will still be outside of that jail cell while your ass is running from incarceration. And I'm gonna say this.
Well, you've seen multiple men who have found themselves dead.
Yes.
In the last, in the last month or two, they found themselves dead, trying to do something for some woman, or on the other side of that, men have been killed, in some quote unquote protection of a woman. And, a lot of times in these situations, it's not even that, they're quote unquote protecting the woman. Because if, take for instance, this dude in New York City, right out there in Brooklyn, right? I spoke about this too. This woman was in a store acting a fucking fool like these hoes are usually doing, right? Somewhere acting a fucking fool. She leaves out of there. She comes back with this guy, right? Now, mind you, when this woman left this store, she wasn't hurt. She wasn't harmed. She wasn't slapped. She wasn't kicked. No one called her a bitch, nothing. She left that store unscathed and unharmed. But she comes back with this dude, and she wants this dude to come back and do something to someone who hasn't really done anything to her. And that man ended up losing his life because of that. He lost his life because of that. You know why? Because these men are not really protecting these women, man. What they're doing is putting on a fucking show for these women. They're not protecting them. They're putting on a fucking show for these women. They're showing off in front of them is what they're doing. They're not protecting them. They're not.
We're joined here by Nichelle. What's up, Nichelle? I know you have some grievances. That you want to speak? I want you to understand. I am not stopping that of any man on this panel. So, what you know, you're in the pool room with a bunch of men.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, all right. Welcome to the pool room.
What's
No
up,
problem.
gentlemen? How are y'all doing?
And it was good, Lady Nichelle.
What's going on?
How's it going?
So,
Bring me up
what
to
is
speed. What misinformation have you put out there in the manosphere that I missed?
okay? So, you come up and you ask, what misinformation of the manosphere? I call it the gender sphere because it's not a space holistically for men. If it's a space for men, why would we need that of the advocacy of women to validate men?
Look,
Why would I need?
I'm not trying to validate men. I'm trying to explain the cultural shift that is occurring in American society or Western society. I've said it before, the birth rate has declined significantly. The replacement birth rate has declined significantly. Men are constantly asking, why is it that women are the main ones to file for divorce? Men are constantly asking, why are these women running around with 3 and 4 baby daddies? Why don't women want to be loyal? Men are asking that question, and they refuse to listen to the answer. Marriage was ideally created for beta men because, a rich man can get as many women as he wants. But by putting a limit on the number of women that the rich men could have, it made a pool available for the normal man, the average man, the poor man even. Now men are sitting up there going, well, thanks to birth control, hey, while you waiting on your alpha man, you're not exactly an alpha female yourself, but while you waiting around for your alpha man, you might as well just, Mr. Right. Why don't you spend some time with Mr. Right now? And they've been able to hit it and quit it. And you have a lot of women out there that are cool with that because they still have the delusions that they will one day get an alpha male. And alpha men are also telling women things that they don't want to hear. That if I can get any woman I want, why should I settle for a woman that is older, that already has kids, that's already been ran through, that has a huge body count? These are things that the genders are not listening to each other on. They suddenly think that things have changed. But one thing is true, has always been true. Women like security. That's why I said, what's this bullshit about, oh, you're disrespecting your man if you're sitting up there talking to other men. If her man is secure, if she's secure with her man, why are you worried about this woman talking to other men?
My wife ain't going to be on no panel in the middle of the night talking to a panel full of men.
Hell no. Hell no. I wish I would walk in here and see my woman
Told you.
on live with a bunch of Negroes in the middle of the night. I wish I would.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Michelle. Ain't no woman.
Come
ain't
on,
no
man,
woman-
on this panel. Let's not sit here and pretend like we don't know what other men are trying to do with a woman on a panel with a bunch of men in the middle of the night.
Yeah, ain't no woman. Ain't no
What are
woman
they?
that has women.
What
No,
are they
no.
trying to do? Wait, stop. What are they trying to do on a panel in the middle of the night? They're not in a room together. They are at their respective homes talking about issues. What are they trying to do? Are they hitting on the woman? Are you just assuming that other men are so thirsty that if they're sitting on a panel with a woman in public, that they must have ulterior motives on their minds?
Well, I don't, Lady Nichelle, I don't think it's about the men per se, because we as men, we know men are going to be men. I think it's more about the woman. I mean, if you can if you're my woman, okay, because I'm a married man, I've been married for 21 years. If my woman can sit up on here for 5 goddamn hours up here talking, all right, up here talking with other dudes. Guess what? She could have took those 5 hours and been cooking me some goddamn dinner, doing
Facts.
some laundry around here,
Facts.
vacuuming this goddamn carpet,
Facts.
something besides that. She's got more important things to do than be on here talking to a bunch of Negroes. That's what I do, all right? And I don't even do it every single day. So if my woman is on here every goddamn day bumping her gums with a bunch of dudes, I mean, come on, man. Why the hell would you be doing that? Okay?
Maybe she's
Why would you be doing
monetizing it.
that?
If you got
Maybe
that much
she's
free
Hell
time on
no.
your hands to do that shit, then obviously
Hell
more
no,
shit, more shit to fuel
Yeah.
your time.
Yeah, my woman ain't got that kind of time to be spending up here talking to a bunch of goddamn Negroes online. She just don't.
Maybe she's
She doesn't have
folding.
that in her. Doesn't have that
Maybe
time
she's
in her
folding
day
clothes. Maybe she's
or
folding
night
clothes. Maybe she's
or
folding clothes
night.
while she's talking.
No, hell
Maybe.
no.
Well, hold on,
Hell
hold on.
no.
But here's the thing
Women
about it.
are good at multitasking. Women are good at
No,
multitasking.
no, that's not a good. Let's look at the imagery of that. Let's look at where we are now. Back in the day, a woman that had a man would not entertain other men because she already understand what is that of the imagery and disrespect of that of her own man. Now we're hearing the exact opposite, where hey, it's okay for a woman to sit in the face of other men.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
it really
I'm gonna
wasn't
say it
that
like
long ago that women used to entertain the women.
okay, I'm gonna say it like this.
You would you,
Times have
no sense.
changed economically for women. It used to be women could not legally have their own credit card. So now women have their
What
own
the
credit
hell
card.
does economic change have to do with morality change?
It's not immorality to say that women can now make money online.
You're missing
They
what I'm saying.
can
What does economic change have to do with just straight morals and having some integrity? What business does women have or a woman have being around or having discussions with a bunch of fucking men? Period. It's not her
because
job to entertain men.
maybe that is her job. Maybe that is the way she financially provides for her household. Oprah Winfrey sat around and talked to men and women, and they televised an hour of that show. There are a lot of women who monetize their ability to talk to men and women. And perhaps the hours are different. But I have friends who get up out of their beds, leave their man at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to go to a television set where 80% of the people there are men, and they talk for 4 hours a day on a TV show. Do you think they man is sitting up there going, "Oh, I don't like my woman being in a manosphere for for her," but that's her job. Women are in roles in today's society that sometimes they are surrounded by men.
So
That
you're
does
trying to
not.
convince us that these
Well,
women that are chatting in the middle of the night with a bunch of men in the manosphere, that's their job.
yeah, I think we're conflating things here. I think because it's different if your woman get up and she go to work every day. That's different. I think there's a big difference between a woman getting up and going to her job, her occupation every day, as opposed to her sitting in our house, all right, in her damn underwear or showing her damn cleavage and talking to a bunch of goddamn Negroes online all night where she ain't get paid shit. I mean,
How do you know she's
I
not
think
being paid? How do you
it.
know? First of all, we're making assumptions. Both of us are making assumptions. I'm saying there is a possibility. There is a possibility that this is part of her brand. This is part of her way to make money. So if she's in scantily clad clothes talking to these men for free, at some point in time, she is advertising for monetary compensation.
Yeah, but I
Hey,
just don't. I
prostitution
don't.
is the oldest
Well, look,
I
professional.
don't.
then she don't
I
need to
don't
be
think
bitching
women.
later on that she can't find no man.
Yeah. She don't. I don't think women with a heavy social media presence make the best wives. I mean, that's just kind of where I'm at. You know, she got a heavy social media presence, and you know, she on YouTube every fucking day, and you know, she doing 4 and 5 hour streams. She got a bunch of knuckleheads around. She's probably not the best wife. All right, she's probably not the best of wife material if that's what she does with her time. Even if she is making money, fine. She's probably not the best wife either.
Yeah, let me ask you something. How quick is it going to last you find out your wife has an OnlyFans account?
Yeah. I mean,
regardless of how much money she bringing in, how long it going to last before you get pissed off? You find out she got OnlyFans.
Absolutely.
I respect no man that's fine with his woman out there showing her body to other fucking men, saying, "Well, we get money." Well, you bitchified because she is running your fucking home. Ain't no man worth in salt is gonna be fine. And this is what I'm saying, man. We're in a different fucking era. This is never a thing. No. It's not a thing.
People were doing that back in the day. People were doing that back in the day. Ike and Tina Turner. Tina Turner. What is the difference between
why are we sitting and comparing the small 1% of wealthy and famous people to the average individual for? That's another big mistake that we keep making.
They are known. They are known.
It doesn't matter. They may be known, but they're not indicative of the general population.
What I am using Ike and Tina Turner to show is Ike pimped out Tina Turner. He pimped her out. He used her looks. He used her talent to make himself money. This is nothing new. We look at Aretha
I guess that's
Franklin.
one way to look at it, right?
You know, it's like I said, it's all a level of degree. It's all a level of degree.
So let me ask you this. So if you want that of the validation of the street, is it that of our job as men to protect somebody who wants that of the protection and validation of the streets?
If your husband is pimping you out,
no. We didn't ask about pimping you. We asked
that's what a man is doing. If you
want to run the street, no, hold on, listen to my question. If you want the validation of the world, you want to talk to the world, you want to be in front of the world, is it my job to protect your ass when you get in shit, or that's your job to go run to the world?
It depends on whether or not you are financially gaining. If you are in the role of a pimp, and that's why I tried to explain the idea that if you are in the role of a pimp, you said you would not respect a man that allowed his woman to have an OnlyFans account. And I said, if he may be allowing her to have the OnlyFans account so that he can get financial rewards himself. He is a pimp. There are pimps in this world.
Why? Okay, first of all, why is a woman comparing her femininity to that of whoredom? Ask yourself that question right now. Do you know how low that is going? That a woman is comparing whoredom to femininity. That was never a thing back in the day. This is how far we done seen it falling.
BMT, just to push back a little bit, women have been selling their sexuality for decades, for millennia, dude. They have. But the thing is we haven't accepted it to the degree that we do now as a profession.
Okay. Now here's the thing about it. If the bitches who are selling their pussy, let them stay their ass down the street. Stay down the street in the brothel. If you want to sell
there always used to be like a red light district you had to go to find them bitches. They weren't just in your backyard.
Stay at the brothel. Don't ask for that of the same kind of currency of protection and goddamn respect as a fucking woman. You want to be in the streets? Be the fucking best streets you can be. But don't say, what are you men gonna do about when some motherfucker beats my ass? I'm like, hold up, you belong to the fucking streets. So any bitch that want to hang in front of a bunch of men, but she said she has a man, I'm like, that's between the streets and you. You don't belong to your man. You belong to the world.
Well, it's pretty cut and dry. All right. If your woman spends a lot of her time hanging around a bunch of men, You're just a weak ass man. You're a weak, very weak hearted man. You're a very permissive fucking man, and you are very you're very tolerating of nonsense.
There
All
it
right,
is.
you're because I know my woman ain't gonna be hanging around a whole bunch of goddamn men. I mean,
Hell
they're
no.
But see, you're
online,
comparing apples to
offline,
oranges.
or
That's
or
what
anywhere
that
else.
is. That's what
Hell
happens
no.
when we compare apples to oranges. When I sit up there and say, without biting my tongue, that prostitution is one of the oldest professions in the world, that a pimp is expected to protect his woman while she goes out into the world. That is why she gives him the money that she makes. So
But
your
that's
wife is not a whore and you are not a
But
pimp.
you're moving the
So don't.
goalposts, man.
No,
There
I'm
was a
not.
direct question answered, and your answer was to move the goalpost and now add another expletive to it.
No, you are sitting up there saying, we are saying the same thing. You are saying that your wives would not be doing certain things. Okay, granted, that's fine. That's your wife. I said, but there are pimps in this world that will allow their women, wives or whatnot, to go out to the world. And those men are supposed to protect those women because they're receiving monetary
Yeah,
benefit
but
from that.
are
he's
we holding
protecting his
prostitutes?
investment. He's not
Right.
protecting
That's
his
an
legacy.
investment.
He's
Are we using
protecting his
prostitutes now?
investment.
This whole moment, are we using prostitutes as the proxy now? Are we using
I'm
prostitutes now? Like,
explaining the
goddamn, dude.
differentiation. The differentiation. There are pimps and hoes in this world. Let the pimps and hoes do what pimps and hoes do. Stop comparing pimps and hoes and saying, you know something, I'm not a pimp, so my wife cannot act like a hoe. Okay, fine. We understand that. I have no respect for a man. He's not a man, he's a pimp. Give the
That's not
Okay.
a
man.
pimp. That's not a pimp. That's not a
Well,
pimp. Why the
well,
fuck y'all
hold
keep
on,
saying
hold
pimp?
on. Well, hold on. To give response to what she's saying, if that's the case, then when we're having just general discussions about this, we need to stop comparing the general consensus of people to famous individuals and using them as examples for why everyone else in the rest of the world's fucked up.
Okay, that's a valid point. But what when I said Ike and Tina Turner, I used that as a general example because if I said Smokey and Tay Tay, you would not know you would not know the dynamic. I
I'm sure
use
everybody
that
did
as
the story. Pretty sure.
excuse me?
I'm pretty sure X did the story on Smokey and Tay Tay. I'm pretty sure X did the
Yeah.
story.
I mean, I'm just
Smokey
saying
and Tay Tay.
that it is a sad dynamic that we start grouping. Well, men are supposed to act like this. Women are supposed to act like that. No, pimps are supposed to act a certain way. Hoes are supposed to act a certain way. If the pimp is acting like a pimp and the hoe is acting like a hoe, why are we complaining? Because that's what they do.
Okay, so are we saying that women are naturally hoes now? Are we going with that now? Are we going with that narrative?
No, I said hoes are hoes. Women are in different categories. A hoe may be a man or a woman, but a hoe is going to do what a hoe is going to do. Now,
Okay,
if we're
can
going to sit up there and say
I
wives,
think it'd be
if we're
more
going to talk
safe to
about
say
wives,
that women
if
are
we're going
hoes
to talk
until
about
they're taught how
wives,
to be women.
if we're going to talk about wives, wives do what wives do. That's a completely different category than a hoe.
Okay, so why would a
So,
woman? Why would it? So actually, here's the thing about it. Why would an honorable woman? I want any of y'all women to listen to me. Why would an honorable woman, if she has a man she respects, be in the presence of other men, advocating for other men? That's not her damn job. Why would she do that?
why are you assuming she's an honorable woman? Most women would sit up there and say, okay, she is, y'all are looking at her as an honorable woman. We're looking at her like
Keyword,
a hoe.
keyword. If did anybody hear me say if she is an honorable woman, why would she? That means why would an honorable woman listen to? I know you went to college. Why would if you are an honorable woman? That's like X. If he is an honorable man, or Snow, if he is an honorable man, why would they be with a bunch of prostitutes in a fucking car? It's gonna be hard to
Okay,
explain that shit to that
see,
motherfucker.
see,
I
see,
just
you
got.
keep going
They,
down this rabbit hole, and I keep
they're
saying,
just giving
I
me a
keep
ride.
saying
They were just giving me a
very,
ride.
Right.
I
Okay.
said it very clearly. I said it very clearly. I did not bite my tongue. I said a hoe is a hoe is a hoe. You're saying if you're an honorable woman, why are you acting like a hoe? Because you are a hoe. You are not an honorable woman.
Why?
So
Okay.
the
Why would
conversation gets conflated and confusing because you continue to try to say, this woman says she's an honorable woman, but she's behaving like a hoe. Okay?
okay?
Then maybe
So
she is
ask,
a hoe.
so what's okay? So let me ask this question, Michelle. What does a woman get out of hanging in the company of men?
Well, considering right now I am a woman hanging in the company of men, because there's an audience of non-men listening, and sometimes men need to hear the advice because, as I said, we are constantly in a situation in which I'm contacted by men or their mamas because they have baby mama drama, they have custody issues, and they want to know why are they in that sphere? How did they allow themselves to get in that sphere? And I said it's because the sexes are talking over each other. That men are not necessarily looking for wife material. They are looking for something in the wrong places. You cannot turn a whore into a housewife. That's been proven over and over again. It's even in the Bible. So that is part of the problem. If you are looking for a wife, but you're hanging with a hoe, then you are going to wind up with marital discord or baby mama drama. So the way that we stop this is to treat dating like a job interview. If you are looking for a hoe, you're looking for just a, pussy, pussy on call, then you're not going to turn pussy on call into someone that's content to fold up your dirty drawers.
Like I
Shop
would say
with
this.
discretion.
Okay, I will say this. I never, ever, 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 ever listen to a woman on dating advice.
Hell
Not a
no.
woman. I've never listened to a woman on dating advice. There's nothing a woman can tell me as a man how I need to operate as a man. Like, there's nothing like, I remember one time my brother said, if you get a stiffy, just swipe your dick up so that way the circulation. A woman wouldn't know the fuck to do that, but a man would know to do that. He's like, hey, if you get a stiffy, don't let her see your stiffy unless she's that type of freak. And I'm like, damn, you serious, bro? Yeah, man, that happened to me at the movie theater. She just grabbed it. I'm like, oh shit, cool. A woman wouldn't know to say that shit. That's something a man would know to say. Like, I understand you're going to say what you want to hear. And this is why I always look at the fallacy where a
Okay,
woman.
again,
Hold on,
again, I'm a woman.
wait, Michelle, I didn't cut you off. I'm talking.
Okay.
I didn't cut you off. There's only so far a woman can tell a man. Like, you could raise a boy and tell a boy about being a boy, the best way of how being a respectable young man.
Women
But
raise boys.
A woman can't tell a man how to being a man. That's impossible. Because what went on through my mind, what went on through X's mind, what went on through Snow's mind, y'all can barely fathom. Versus, I can't tell a woman how to be a fucking woman with estrogen, periods, cramps, menopause. I don't know what the fuck that shit goes through. You could probably tell a woman how to fucking get through an interview with that shit. But when I see women telling men how to be men, I'm like, you done put in a fucking tampon in your ass. Because there's no way you fucking taking HC from a fucking woman. But I now understand the women are now trying to tell the men how to be a best man. And then they ask, well, where are the men at? You done turn all them into bitches. You know what? So when y'all actually deal with a real fucking man, and I'm gonna give it over to you, when you deal with a real man, y'all say, "Oh my God, you're toxic, you're misogynist, you're an asshole." No, he's actually in the nature of being a man. It's just that y'all raise a culture of weak fucking men. When you're actually dealing with the original type of man that knows himself, he's not listening to any bullshit. He's like, "No, I'm not. I'm not." Like, men tell other men, "You're ugly." Like other men give a fuck. Like I'm not gay. What the fuck do I give a fuck about how another man thinks about me? I make such an amount of money. Women get wet and turned on about that. Weak men follow that. Other men who are making their money and paying their fucking bills and their car runs just fine, they can give a fuck how much another man makes. At the end of the day,
shit don't matter.
It don't matter. It does not matter to a fucking man in his own manhood. I'm telling you, when a man is in his own fucking manhood, that shit does not fucking matter. I'm telling you, that's when you know, like, it's like, it's crazy. That's how you know a lot of men, holistically, they've been trying to compete to be a fucking bitch for so long, they now think like them. You know, like when a cop goes undercover for so long, they've been undercover for so long, they actually believe what they are. They actually believe it. So when X or Snow or I or any other fucking man tries to talk to them about being a fucking man, they don't get it. It's foreign to them. They forgot how they got there. I get it in the shell. You're in an era where, hey, it's okay for a woman to sit amongst men. Where I'm from, that's not okay. That's unclean. If you're my woman, I'm going to ask you, why the fuck are you sitting amongst men? If I give a fuck about if any woman has a man, y'all know damn well your man does not tolerate you being in the company of other fucking men. If he actually fucks you, if that man really gives a fuck about you, he don't play that shit. Hey, I'm gonna go hang out with my guy friends. Ain't no fucking man ever gonna be cool with his girl telling him that shit. No man would ever condone that shit. Oh yeah, go have fun with your guy friends.
That's a fact, dude. I'm not even cool with my wife. If my wife ever said, "Hey, I'm gonna go hang out with all my gay buddies at the gay bar tonight," yeah, the fuck right. You are.
No.
The fuck you are.
That's like a man telling his woman, "I'm gonna go hang out with my friends that are females. We're gonna go out." Bro,
plus, if she's quote unquote committed to you, right? If she's correctly committed to you, why the fuck does she even want to be around other men? Like, why does she want to go hang with other men or, you know, be sitting amongst other men or online with other men? Like, if she's committed to you, why would she even want to do any of that in the first place? The fact that she wants to do that is a red flag that she's not really committed to you. The fact that the simple fact that she wants to be around all these other guys, that lets you know she's not that into you. Well, she's not that into you.
And to go along with that, Lex, I mean, it makes most of us guys that sit here and watch these women on these panels in the middle of the night for hours and hours on end, or engaging with men like this all the time. It makes us sit and wonder, how much do you actually engage with your husband if you're up here engaging with all these other dudes?
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. So, this show is to enlighten men that if you're with a woman that has a social media presence, you should run from that woman right now. That's the takeaway.
Dump her.
Get rid of her. Bye.
Dump her now.
She's not worth your time.
I'm not dealing.
Dump her now.
I'm not dealing with no
okay, so I just gathered that a bunch of married men sit around in the middle of the night watching a woman engage with a lot of other men instead of massaging their wives' feet, fixing the kitchen sink.
What?
I'm just saying, y'all are saying
massaging their wives' feet. What?
Hell yeah. Why not?
Michelle, I'm gonna have a drink for you. I don't know what the fuck you want.
Y'all just said that the woman could be vacuuming the house, folding up some clothes instead of engaging with these men online late at night. And I'm assuming your wives worked hard during the day. They've been doing the cooking, the cleaning, the child rearing, and at least give her a little foot massage, massage her back, She's worked hard. She deserves a little pampering. So instead of married men watching these clowns on social media in the middle of the night, bumping up their ratings and bumping up their monetary value, why not pamper your wife for a little bit? I can play devil's advocate. I can sit up there
Michelle,
and tell you why women come to me and say they want a divorce. I can tell you the little things that drive women into wanting a divorce. And the stats are consistent that women are the main ones. They file more than 80% of the divorce
Yeah, because
in
they
today's
selfish.
economy.
That's the main reason why they file for divorce. They selfish.
They
now,
could be
now,
selfish. They'd rather be by themselves or with a
now,
more
All I
attentive man.
all I know is you can't tell me that a woman who's married, all right, she's in a committed marriage with a brother. There's no way in hell she's on YouTube for 7 hours on a panel
Michelle
with a
can.
bunch of men.
Michelle can.
Or 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 with a bunch of women for that matter. If she's got a
Uh-oh.
marriage and she's got children and all that shit going on, her ass ain't got no time to be up here all night every night. And she's
Lucretia
definitely not
here,
a she's not a
Lucretia here,
married woman.
Stacy on the right. I can name women on the right who spend considerable time on social media building up an audience that are happily married.
Oh, 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 oh.
Oh, they might be married. I don't know about happily. I don't know about happily if she
No,
online every damn
No,
day
I'm
for
with
hours and
BMT.
hours.
no, no,
Who?
no fucking
Who?
man. No fucking man is. I don't get. This is what I'm trying to say. What dynasty of fucking men are y'all talking about? No fucking man in his right mind is gonna be okay with his bitch being in front of a bunch of other men. No man that is a fucking man is okay with his woman talking and kicking in front of other men. He's gonna question what the fuck is going on.
Hey
I've
man,
already
I
explained it
let
to
my
you. I've
wife
already
sit and
explained
I
it.
let my wife sit and do one panel with BMT one time, and it was a panel of women. And you know what? I still sat there the whole motherfucking time and listened to the whole goddamn thing. Sat right by her side the whole fucking time because
I get
I
off.
know that there ain't no. She ain't getting online, and she's not. No, ain't happening.
Yeah.
No, no,
If your wife's doing that, man, you soft, man. If
you
you're
soft as
allowing your
fuck.
wife to
Soft
just
as
be
fuck.
online every day,
Soft as
all
fuck.
times of night with all these dudes, you're a soft dude, man, and that's why she does it. That's why
Because
she
she knows
does
she
it.
can.
Yeah, she knows she can. I mean, only women who know they have the ability to do that are going to do that. Because any woman who's around a dude that she knows is not having it, she's not going to be online all fucking night with a bunch of other dudes. All
Nope.
right?
Okay,
She's
so
not going to
we've
have this
agreed.
heavy
We
online
have
goddamn
agreed.
presence.
But in
She's
the
not.
men's mind, in the married men's mind that are sitting up there watching these women, they are watching these women because they're like, oh my God, her husband is such a pimp. Her husband is such a low class man. I wouldn't have allowed it. But God, I'm watching. Come on now. If you see some mess that you don't like, don't be sitting up there saying that the guy is wrong or the woman is somehow or another. Well, if she really respected her man, she wouldn't be doing this because I know my wife wouldn't. And I'm saying that there's another social dynamic, both on the conservative side, because that's really where I am. I watch the conservative media more than I do the liberal media. And they are having thought provoking panels for 2 and 3 hours because they have something to say. That does not in itself denigrate either the husband or the wife. It's what the panel is talking about that makes it immoral or immoral.
I disagree.
Yeah, I do too. I just don't. I just don't see where. I don't think anything's being accomplished, right? Especially
X.
if you're a woman, you're the only woman there. It's not like it's you and a bunch of other married women. It's just you and a bunch of dudes. I mean, I don't think that. I know I wouldn't want it for me. All
But
right,
what
Look,
is the
and
this would be
conversation
look.
about?
This would be like having a damn dinner party or barbecue, and your wife's sitting there engaging with all the men while all the women are sitting over here having a discussion with each other. I mean, because let's keep it real. In reality, on most of these panels, if there's a bunch of brothers up there, 98% of the women are in the chat having a discussion amongst themselves, which is where that bitch should be, is in the chat with the rest of the women. Not sitting and fucking trying to make her voice be heard or her presence be known on a panel with a bunch of men. She should be entertaining the women.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
I think a lot. I think a lot of
Okay, so
these women that you
let me
see
ask you this.
on
Let
these
me ask you
on these
this. Since I
panels,
am a woman on this
these
panel,
broads don't have they don't have a husband. Most of these broads that you see, man, online. I
No,
mean,
they're just trying to disrupt.
yeah, they don't have no. A lot of these women
Could you
probably don't
imagine?
have
Could you
men.
imagine
Period.
Mrs.
Let
X?
alone a husband.
Could you imagine Mrs. X running the TPOT channel? You would hear X in the background screaming and cussing up a storm.
Oh, Lord, son.
He's like, you must have
No,
lost your damn mind, woman.
but it's
absolutely,
okay. It's okay
absolutely not.
for a woman. It's okay for a woman to go to work where 90%
Oh, here
of
we
the
go.
men.
Here we go.
No,
Start
See
going.
no, no,
that
no.
now you're moving the goalpost again.
I'm good for a reason. For a reason. Because I work.
We're talking about A and B, and you got to add C to come to Z.
Yeah, well,
No, I
Lady
work for
Michelle,
women.
you come from a different angle because you're an attorney, so you get up and go to work every damn day. You ain't even online all night, all right? And you're a working woman. You have a good career. You're probably really successful. You ain't online all night every night with a bunch of dudes, are you?
No, I
No.
gotta sleep, honey. I gotta sleep. I mean, it's like this. Forgive me, I'm walking around for a little bit, so you may hear noise. But what I'm saying is, when we sit up there and do these generalities, we do these generalities about male, female. Joe's like, I don't need a leader. I don't need a leader. It's like, who's the new leader of the black community? We don't really need a leader of the black community because a leader is going to get things accomplished. If you are leading your household is going to get things accomplished. So if you're sitting up there looking at these modern talk shows on the internet, they're not trying to get anything accomplished except for views and likes. They are not trying to solve a problem. They are usually not trying to educate people. But what I am saying is the reason I called in is because it's time to educate people. We need to stop comparing hoish behavior with, don't ask questions like, why is a woman with that respects herself on a panel with a bunch of men? What kind of question is that? Depends on what they're talking about. One. Two, it depends. Why is her husband allowing her to do that? Why is her husband allowing her to be around other men? I come from a profession where that's just the way it is. I have business meetings. Most of the men who have businesses that can afford my services are men. Most of the lawyers I talk to are men.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Lady Michelle. Now, usually, I know from what I've seen, all right, but I don't take in a lot of YouTube and media. I don't take in a lot of it. But from what I've seen, when you see women on panels with men, they're usually talking about some type of relationship slash male female interaction topic. All right, that's usually what they're talking. If women are on the panel, it's usually something to do with how men and women get along. 9 times out of 10, it's not like women come up and they talk about mechanical engineering or electrical engineering, or they come up and they talk about racism. Or no, they usually, when women are usually on the panel, this is the conversation. It has something to do with relationships between women and men. And I'm sorry, if you are a married woman, this is me, I'm not talking about anyone else. I believe that your black ass should not be on a panel trying to discuss relationships with a bunch of men when you have a damn husband walking around in your house or at work or in the bed or outside working on the car. All right? Because this is what usually gets talked about when you're talking about women on men's panels, especially when she's the only woman there. She's the only woman there. It usually has something to do with some type of male to female interaction, i.e., relationships.
Right. And not only that, chances are when she's up there talking about her relationship dynamics, she's talking about her relationship dynamics with the person she's with at that very moment. And ain't no bitch need to be up on no panel in front of the world talking about our relationship with other people that don't know fucking nothing about us.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a point well taken for your relationship. And I can say that if you're giving the 411 to men in general and saying, yo, man, if this is your woman up there on this panel, I have no respect for you. He probably don't care. Because like you said, men don't care what another man thinks about them. So again, airspace, airtime. Again, the reason I said most women file for divorce because their men are not being attentive enough. It's not the cheating. They can get away with the cheating. It's not even finances. Most of the time, when women file for divorce, it's the little things that the men are neglecting to do while expecting the woman to carry on.
Selfishness.
And I'm not saying this in a point specific, men, you need to get your game up. I'm saying that is it worth risking 50% of what you have accumulated because you have forgotten to do the little things? Is it worth?
Absolutely. I am not and will not ever be okay with that shit.
I don't think women are qualified to give men advice about any goddamn thing, to be honest. They're not qualified. They're definitely not qualified to give men advice about manhood. They're not qualified to give men advice about social economics. And they definitely are not qualified to give men advice about relationships. I just don't think women are qualified to do that.
Anything,
all right,
really,
I don't
for
think.
That matter.
I don't think women are qualified to give men advice about anything. A lot of women aren't even qualified to give other women advice about things. So how the hell?
While you guys are on this forum right here, I have male friends who are trying to change the laws because once they change the laws, society will follow along. And because they feel like women have so many more advantages than they do, they want to get Section 8 so they can sit around on their fat asses all day. They want to produce children and have the children every other week and not really worry about what conditions the children are living in the other half of the week, but they want to be able to have the children 50% of the time and collect Section 8, food stamps, and all the other stuff because they want to be like women. So if you really want to know where the problem is not on late night dating sites or late night talk shows. The problem is with the men who are actually mobilizing, going down to the state legislatures, going down to Congress and getting laws passed so that men can be just as bitch ass as women.
Yeah, and the thing is those are the men that allow these women to do this shit that we're talking about that we don't approve of and that we don't have no respect for.
And what are you doing to stop these men? Are you organizing a counter movement that keeps these laws from being changed? Because I'm seeing more and more men getting behind this whole let's end child support. Yeah,
you know what? Sometimes you just got to let it burn down in order to rebuild.
Okay. I mean, I definitely am beginning to believe that because there are a group of men trying to figure out how they can get women to start reproducing again. They are literally trying to ban birth control in certain states. because the birth rate, women have become too independent. They don't want to be saddled down with children and a man telling them what to do.
Do you find
So,
that? Do you find that alarming? Now, here's the thing about it. I ask this question: that do you feel that you women have gone too far from your nature of being women?
no. And I say that because women have always worked. Women have always worked. If it wasn't anything other than taking care of the chickens, growing gardens, weaving clothes, sewing
Why do
clothes.
y'all? Why do y'all accumulate working as nature? Why do y'all accumulate working as nature? Like what? That doesn't make no sense. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's all. Going to work, like a girl working, getting up and being a maid. That's not her female nature. That's just her going to work, earning some money. A girl working at a
A
tavern.
woman,
That's her going to work.
He's
a
talking about
woman's
being a
nature.
mother and a wife.
Right.
If
Like
you're saying,
y'all don't
if
even know
you're
what
wait. You can, and as women are saying, again, this is where the genders are not listening. Women are saying, now that we have the unheeded ability to go out and work, there were laws put in place to keep women in the house. There were laws put in place, I should say, to keep white women in the house. There were laws put in place saying that white women could not do certain jobs. There were laws put into place that said Black women had to do certain jobs. Now we're in a new sphere in which women can go out and work, or women can live in poverty on the government's assistance. Women have choices nowadays. Those
Look,
choices.
what it boils down to is women are just saying you're going to do shit the way we want it done, or that's how it's going to be. And there's men that are
Women
stepping
are
back and saying,
asking.
"No, we ain't gonna have it." And the
Okay.
women don't like that. They feel their power, and that's what this is about. It ain't about equality. It ain't about equity. It ain't about any of that shit. It's all about women wanting power over men.
Okay, I'll say it to y'all like this. See, if my man came in here right now and said, I'm ready to eat, I'd go and feed my man because that is my man. That is my man.
That's a lot.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
That's what you supposed. That's what you're supposed to do.
Because that's the way I'm
Out of
supposed
all
to
the
treat.
time, Michelle, out of all the times you have been on the show, when have you gotten off to go feed that goddamn meal?
I've never seen it. I've seen her on your show a lot.
That's what you're supposed to
Because
do.
I'm productive with my time. Shit, I did salmon.
You're supposed to get up. You're supposed to get up off of this stream if he tell you to.
You know you ain't
Supposed to
never
get up off of this
the
stream.
show.
You're supposed to get up off of here if that's what he tells you to do.
Michelle,
Get up off.
Michelle
Get up
will
off of
go
that stream,
find a pack
woman.
of cigarettes before she go feed that nigga. We can stop that.
I probably will finish my cigarette. No, because no.
Oh, see, that's some bullshit. That's some
Oh, no.
bullshit.
I'm not a trained fielder. I'm not a trained
Ed
fielder.
actually made a really good comment in the chat too, that he finds it funny that she's only assumed divorce is based off the man failing to do something. I mean, when in reality, the truth of the matter is that's why I keep saying divorce is done by selfish women, because men are willing to put the betterment of the family unit as the bigger picture, whereas women are all about what they aren't getting. Men will sit and go throughout their entire marriage dealing with a woman not giving him what it is he thinks he needs or wants, because they see the family unit. Because they see the family unit as the greater picture, whereas women don't see the family unit as the greater picture. All they see is themselves first and what they're getting or not receiving.
Okay, that's granted. I've only had one couple that came in, and I could tell by the way his father was acting and her sister was acting that this was not a divorce caused by the two of them. It was the fact she actually did have mental issues, and he was trying his best. He had to work 14 hours a day, so he installed cameras to check and make sure that she took her medication, that she didn't harm the kids. He was doing what he thought was best. So a lot of times divorces happen because the families get involved. Traditional men, I'm the man. You're the man. You must get her sister out of the marriage. And I was able to get them to reconcile. But usually when people come to me, it is too late. It is just too late. So I'm not going to make these generalities that women are selfish, because I've represented men who've literally told me that men should be able to upgrade on wives just like they upgrade on cars. So there is that mentality out there as well. There are men that after, the wife goes into menopause, he has no desire for her anymore. She's gone through menopause. It's over. She's not going to have kids for him anymore. So what does he need her for? He can hire a cook. He can hire a maid. He can obviously hire a prostitute. So the needs of men in relationships often change to the point that they do divorce. And there are statistical studies that show the most likely times that people are going to get a divorce is right after the birth of a newborn, when the child suddenly stops becoming a child, right around that 10 to 12 year age, and then once the child is out of the house. It's because the dynamics of the family change, and sometimes people are not willing to change with that dynamic. If you are sitting up there prescribing a role for a woman, the life of a mother changes depending on the age of the child. We're still having these conversations about who should get fed first, the child or the man. That's a ridiculous conversation. What man would want to eat before his child ate if he's worried about the next generation? It would be ridiculous for a man to watch his child watch him eat while the child is hungry. I'm
Well, yeah.
saying that the order of things are supposed to be logical, not egotistical. It's like if you're a man sitting up there saying, I'm at a family reunion and I want my wife to fix my plate first and then worry about the kids. If you're at her family reunion, her family's going to be pissed. If you're at your family reunion, you're doing it more out of ego.
If there's plenty of food to be had, my wife better fix my plate before she makes the kids.
Why?
Because I'm the one that provided that food that's being ate. So if there's plenty for everyone to eat, I sit down first. Plain and simple. I'm the king of that castle. I run that ship. That ship wouldn't be running the way it is if it wasn't for me and the decisions that I make. Now, if we're talking about a situation where there isn't enough food for everyone to eat, then there's an argument to be had on whether or not the children come first. But if there's plenty for everyone, yes, she's making my plate first. Everyone else comes afterwards. And I don't care if people don't agree with it.
See, we had 3 kids. And so my husband would always, he knowing that I would have to help them eat, I'd have to feed them, he knew I would always eat last if I didn't eat off their plates. He would always go and fix his own plate. When we went to restaurants and they brought all of our food together, I made sure the kids ate because they needed, it wasn't a want, it was a need. They needed assistance. So when we sit up there and talk about the family dynamics, I'm assuming your kids now are at least 5 years old and they can eat for themselves. Because we're going back to selfishness. A gentleman said that women are selfish, that the reason why they file for divorce is because of selfishness. But then I hear a man say that the reason he has to get his plate before his kids is because he is the provider. I commend you on being the provider, but I'm saying that some things wear on women's minds that they go unspoken until they come in and file for divorce. And that's when we start hearing about how they were treated at the home, that they were treated more like a worker than a partner. If the two of you have decided that let me give him his plate first, that way, we can make sure the food's not poisoned. I'd rather him, take the poison before the kids anyway. That's logical. Because that's what the kings did back in the day. They would have other people taste their food before they ate. BMT must have disappeared. Okay, I hate silence on these shows. But what I'm trying to say is that a point of reference to this topic about why would a respectable woman be on a show with a bunch of men? Frame it in that they're talking about relationships. They're talking about what women want in bed. They're talking about how women want to be courted, wooed. That's her opinion. Maybe guys want to know from a woman's point of view. When I was dating, I would call my nephew
You ain't
on my
shit, SKC. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but his comment was too good to pass up.
Oh, what did he say?
said-
I'm not paying attention.
He said people still have children. Me and the missus 8 R's, fatten them up for a few years, and voila, baby back ribs. You ain't shit.
I'm
Dude.
saying it like this. That was funny. But, on a serious note, when I was dating, I'd call my nephew and ask him, brother said this, is he playing game? And he's like, he would give me some good advice sometimes, but he was my nephew. A lot of times he would give me advice like to make sure that I never dated again in my life. My favorite one was when he told me that if a man really cares about you, he'll put on 3 condoms before trying to have sex. I believed him. I honestly believed him. So, I stayed a virgin until I got engaged. It was very simple. You're not willing to jump to the moon for me, then I don't need you. But that was the kind of advice he gave me because he loved me. The kind of advice that I gave him about women was because I did not want ugly kids up in our family. I did not want, Shanae coming for the family reunion. So yes, women can give you advice if they love you. I don't think either one of the married men on the panel would have married their wives if their mother and sisters were in keen objection to that. And your mother and your sister are women. So we have to remember those.
I didn't give a damn. I didn't give a damn. Yeah, I didn't give a damn what my mother or my sisters or my aunt or anybody gave. I didn't care what they thought of my woman. I mean, I just didn't care. All right.
If that was the case, I would have left my woman when I first met her because my mom didn't like her. I didn't give 2 shits.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, a few of the women that I had in my life, I mean, my mother didn't even like, but that didn't stop me from being with them because I'm not of the mind of, mama knows best. Everyone knows me. I'm the anti-mama in this space. I'm known for saying these old mamas. So, I mean, what my mom thought of my life was like totally irrelevant. Like,
it was kind of a non sequitur to any of my.
Yeah. Yeah. Any of my decisions. I mean,
was your mother married?
Yes, she was married to my father.
Yeah, my mother was married to my stepfather.
Yeah. I mean, my parents were married, I think, 56 years when my father died.
My mom was married to my stepdad for 28 years when she
how
died.
You could disrespect your mother if your father was still around.
What do you mean disrespect her?
How is it
I never.
disrespecting not marrying
Yeah,
someone my mom doesn't like?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
It's not so much disrespecting because you married the woman. It is the
My mom
way
ain't the
you
one that's got to
talking
live
to
that
the
woman.
woman.
My mom ain't the one that's got to pay my bills. My mom ain't the one that's got to deal with the bullshit that I got to deal with on a daily basis. So why would I take what she has to say about a woman into any consideration?
yeah. I never subscribed to the thing that you know because we came up in a time when people were telling you, "Oh, you want a woman just like your mama," and guess what? You know who told me that that was BS? My father. My father told me that, man, you don't go out here and find no woman like your mama. Why would you want another mother? You have
Right,
one already. So
right.
why would you go out and try to find another one? Like,
You
I
set
mean, and
yourself
I
up for
think
failure.
exactly. I think that's a problem within black society because black society just wants to be mothered. I guess because the majority of us don't have a daddy. So I guess we just think it's this thing about us being mothered. And it's one thing for women to be like that. All right. It's one thing. All right. For women to be like that. But it's another thing when men are like that, where they just feel the need to be mothered even though they're in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, they need to be mothered. I wasn't looking for a woman to mother me. I was looking for a woman to complement the life that I already had. I didn't
Right.
need a mother. I already had one. But
Well,
a
not only
lot of
that,
men need to be mothered.
well, not only that, X, isn't it fair to say that had it been like your grandfather or your father or one of your uncles that came to you with some concerns about the woman you were with, you might have took into consideration
Yep.
the concerns they were addressing. But
Yep.
even
Even
then,
then.
that wasn't going to make your mind up on whether or not you were going to marry your wife or not.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I don't think
I
it
mean,
should
like,
make up your mind. I think that when you sit back and you look at, in general, the reason we have such a high divorce rate, the reason we have such a high baby mama drama is because men have a tendency, as well as women, to not shop with the intent to marry. That at the end of the day, when I sit up there and look at these guys, they're like, man, you know, how come she get all that child support? I
So
shouldn't
just
have to
like
pay
every other
child
woman, you're
support.
putting all the blame on men.
I'm saying the clients that I had. I don't have women coming in saying, man, why do I have to pay child support? He got another woman up in that house. I don't have women saying it. The long and short of that, when men, grown ass men, sit up there, you knew she had kids before you got married. You had sex with her. Now you have to pay child
Well, now
support.
you're going to
And you
extremes. What
upset.
about these men that go out and do it all the right way? Let's talk about them. Let's talk about the men that go out and do
Why
it.
do we need
Just
to talk
no.
about those men?
Hold on. Let's talk about the men that talk. Let's talk about the men that go out and do it the way you're subscribing, where they go out and they actually vet their women and they go through all the right channels and they take all the advice of everyone else and this, that, and the other, and they think that they're with the right woman and still get fucked over because why? She's selfish and because he wasn't attentive enough of her needs and because he didn't rub her feet when she got home from work or because he didn't sit and say, hey baby this and hey baby that, and he wasn't attentive enough. What about those? Because
They got
that's the
screwed.
majority of it.
They got screwed. They got screwed. And if you would listen to me, maybe you're listening to talking to someone who does divorce, estate planning, business planning, that at the end of the day, sometimes this is the way it's going to end. One, one, you are going to be paying child support. That's 20% of your income. It going forward, at least 20%. If you have multiple kids, it could be higher. So you have a financial incentive to sit up there and wonder, how can I fix this so that I do not have to pay 20%? So I do not have to sit up there and wonder why she has all these weaves and all spending your child support money on stuff for herself when you're only paying $400 per child, if that. So the warning out there for the majority of the guys is that you have to understand the risk. You have to understand the risk and have an exit strategy with anyone you interact with on a romantic basis. They have now curtailed abortion in numerous states. They are trying to end birth control in many other states. So the risks are getting higher out there now for unwanted pregnancy. And the laws are still going to favor the woman because she breastfeeds. The laws are going to favor the mother because of her supposed maternal instinct. Up until a child gets a certain age. Now, if your 14-year-old child wants to come live with daddy, the courts may listen to that 14-year-old and the child gets to come live with them. But until then, courts very rarely listen to the child about who they want to stay with, and the burden of showing that the mother is unfit is high. So men are trying to change the law so that it's 50-50. And a lot of these men that are trying to change the law so that it's 50-50 forget that children are only at school for 6 hours a day. And their work schedules do not permit them to only work 6 hours a day. So you have effeminate men out there who want to be treated equally with the women. You women want to control us. No. Men made the laws. These child support laws, they were made in the 70s by all men. They were modified in the 90s when there was less than 10% of women on the legislative body in state government. So a lot of the things that men are complaining about when it comes to why are these women out here doing these things is because the law in and of itself created a situation where women can
And that law was written by men that never have to deal with the situations they created.
They probably did not have to deal with those situations because primarily at that point in time the men were in their late 50s or so went by the time they got elected. They had raised their kids. They were looking at it from the vantage point of continuation of the society, future generations, and the best idea was to try to come up with a system knowing men and women's weaknesses so that the children could be taken care of in the event the parents decided to part ways. And knowing that men primarily work at least 8 hours a day, all throughout the year, the kids would be out during the summer. The laws were designed for the woman to put the kids first, not her career. Then you had daycare come out to try to fill through the gap because you had a lot of women who just didn't want to ask their husband for money when the money was supposed to be happening. And you had a lot of men that said, look, it's my money. I went out there, I busted my ass, I made the money. And women said, well, I busted my ass in the house all day. I was vacuuming, I was cooking, I was cleaning, I was folding up laundry, I was taking care of your kids when they got home from school, or I was homeschooling your kids. So we were a partner. I thought we were a partnership. I thought the money was 50-50 out. As we moved into the 70s and the work schedule became so that women could enter into the workforce, you had a lot of women who entered into the workforce and said, wait a minute, you guys expect me to now go out 8 hours a day just like you, but at the same time maintain the house, maintain the kids. And women found that they could do it by themselves without being dictated to. And so, out of selfishness, as some people call it, they decided, you know something? I can pay a mortgage. I can pay the gas bill, the water bill. I can pay those things. And I can raise my kids because what was the advantage of having a man in the house?
So SKC has a question for you. He says black women outnumber black men by 2 million. Why are there more married black men than black women?
Again, men, there's a benefit of marriage for men. It's always been designed to benefit men. Men sit up there and say, oh, great, I have a wife. I now have a constant support system. I have a woman that will cook, clean, raise my children, and have sex with me, usually on demand. All these things are done on demand. What women often find themselves asking, what does a man do for me on demand? Not saying you gentlemen in particular, I'm saying in a societal function, what is the role of a husband nowadays? That it would be such an enticing thing for a woman to say, I need a husband.
Well, we we know why more black men, um, percentage wise, we know why more of them are married than black women because black men marry out more in higher numbers, in a higher percentage than black women do. That's just a statistical fact that black men have a tendency to marry out more in greater numbers than black women. I mean, you hear black women on here talking about they're gonna divest and be with white men and also kind of bullshit, but only about three. It's only about 3 to 5% of them that actually do it. All right, in reality, only about 3 to 5% of them actually marry someone of another race. All right, I think with black men, the numbers are like 15% or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but I think black men their marry out numbers, their percentages are a lot higher than black women are. So that's how you get the numbers on that, because black men are marrying more. When you say black men are marrying more, they're marrying more because black men have a tendency to have more options than black women do when it comes to outside of the quote unquote race. Black men just have a tendency to be with other races more than black women do, as it stands now, or so the numbers would reflect. All right, regardless of all this talk of being with other races, the numbers don't reflect what these women are saying. It just doesn't. I mean, you look at the census, you look at the demographic pages. I mean, the numbers are not supported by the talking points. They're not. They're not supported by the talking points. They're really not.
And how do you say it like this? Ketanji Brown, white man. Why? Because she's a successful black woman. Kamala Harris, white man. Why? Because she's a successful. That in the white sphere, when I walk into a room, they are not just impressed that I'm a lawyer. They want to dig deeper. Where did you go? What's your pedigree? Where did you go to law school? Where did you go to undergrad? They are impressed by that. But when I'm in the black sphere, it's kind of like, oh, my cousin a lawyer too. Okay, well, that's good. I mean, they didn't lock the law school doors when I came out. We have a tendency in the black community to say, you think you're better than me. So considering the way the dynamics has been, that there are more black females that have graduated from high school, college, professional degrees, that the dating pool For them, if you're looking at like that 60% of college graduates, black women, 40% black men, you either go and jump on one of those 40% when statistics tells you that out of that 40%, 40 men, that 15 of them are going to, or it would be probably less than that, but anyway, 5 of them are going to be interested in white women or people outside their race. You have to learn very quickly what your priorities are. If it's to marry, do you want to marry someone that you're not equally yoked with, that you can't go to social functions with because they wouldn't necessarily be on that socioeconomic level that they could converse with those people freely? I've met a lot of men that didn't go to college that are astute business people, well taught like Malcolm X, and they can relate, but then there are other people that can't relate. So you also have to put that in dynamic. If black girls are being pushed into college so they can become teachers, doctors, lawyers, CPAs, and we're not pushing our young black men to anything other than, go to college so you can play basketball, football. Girls know that they're really not going to they're not going to get a sports scholarship as quickly as they're going to get an academic scholarship. So girls are forced into academics. Guys are forced into sports. It's a practical thing that families do, but it creates a situation in which a lot of black women find themselves highly educated, and their education in the dating pool is a disadvantage. So unless they date within their socioeconomic group, which according to you guys is very limited, they're going to remain single. Why would someone like Ketanji Brown want to marry a mechanic or a truck driver? What would he bring to the table?
Yeah, well, I mean, I see it like this. You say that women in these higher socioeconomic groups, they're going to remain single. Fine. That's the life they chose. Um, that's the life they chose. So what they need to do is stop complaining. All right? Stop complaining. Stop looking for men. Stop crying about men, because you hear women talk all the time. Well, I want someone on my level. Therefore, that means you haven't found someone on your quote unquote level. So that means you're probably not going to find someone on your quote unquote level. So stop crying, stop complaining, go ahead, make your money, live your life, and when your ass get old, get on out there in the park and feed pigeons and ducks and take care of your 55 cats that you got running around your damn house, and just stop whining about it.
Women don't have to do that. Women just adopt. They could go through. I mean, honestly, I agree with you. Women should stop whining. If you don't want to be by yourself, you're a woman. You don't have to be by yourself. You do not have to be by yourself. If you want a black man, there's Jamaica, there's Haiti, there's Nigeria, there's Ghana, a whole continent with majority black men. You can go to Europe and find a black man. There are black men in Europe. I found one there. What I'm saying is that, yeah, you don't have to get on social media and complain because you can't find a man, because there are plenty of men. China, for example, has more men than they know what to do with. So you can go to China.
Yep. But this is the thing. They complain. These women complain about there's no men, but such a high number of them have children. So if so many of y'all have children, how you complaining about there is no men? I mean, you were able to find a man to fuck, right? I mean, obviously, if you got kids, you had access to some men, all right, at some point in your life. So to say, oh, there's no men, well, where these damn kids came from then? Unless you got some in vitro fertilization or something. I mean, you got a bunch of kids running around. You've had access to men.
they're saying that, in often cases, they're saying they're no good men. Were you looking for a good man when you laid up with this guy? Were you looking for a good man when on your first date he was already trying to grab the cookies? If that is the kind of man you were with, because oh girl, he was exciting. We had such a great time. Okay, if that's the way you're dating and living your life, don't be surprised that you now have a situation in which you can't find a man because you got kids. You lower, women don't want to admit this, your value goes down. Men value go. A man is the most valuable when he's the most valuable in the whole dating sphere. He's had time to accumulate wealth. He has built a nest, so to speak. But a woman, by the time she's 42, she's had the eggs in her body since the day she was born. So those, just scientifically speaking, although a 42-year-old woman can have kids, there could be a lot greater risk involved because her eggs are 42 years old. So a man that has his shit together is less likely to date another 42-year-old woman just because of the risk of having children. And if she already has children, he may not want a ready-made family.
Yeah, I think that that's a drawback with a lot
So,
of women. I mean,
Do
a
y'all
lot of
have
these
any
women
y'all have
already got a
thoughts?
bunch of kids.
Hey, you guys, y'all have any final thoughts? I know I don't want to wear y'all out. We want to shout out to everyone who's coming to chat. Shout out to Sir Ism. Shout out to Celine. Shout out to Sugar Bomb. Shout out to SKC. Every racial group has more female graduates. Black men are not unique in this respect. Shout out to that. Toyota Tutor. Shout out to everyone. BK for the Rockies. Iman. Um, bringing up about women graduating, that's not really a big thing. I don't know why people keep using that. It's not really a big proclamation because there's always going to be more. Yeah.
I'll close out with this, man, to answer the question that you got on the title here, man. Why are the black men afraid to tell these women that advocate for men to shut the fuck up like a Truism did? I think there's a bunch of women on here. I guess they're trying to fit in, right? That's why they're trying to, claim to be on the men's side, I guess. I mean, I believe some of them are genuine, some of them probably are not. But I do believe a lot of these women, like I said before, they're just kind of regurgitating talking points that have always been here. It's like they're not saying anything new. A lot of the information is just recycled. It's pretty old. I think it's a full circle thing where they have taken some things that they claim to have hated back in the day, and now they're using it for their own benefit, which is fine for them to do. It's their right to do, but they're not doing anything new. They're not doing anything innovative. They're not, there's no groundbreaking things going on here, and you can't really blame them. You have to blame the people who are taking it in and giving them the exposure and giving them the attention. I mean, you can't really blame them for utilizing, what they're utilizing. If a pit bull runs into your house because you got your door open, of course you say, damn, what this pit bull doing running in my house? But at the same time, you have to ask yourself, why was my door open? And if you're opening the door to these types of things or these types of people, I mean, you have some burden on yourself as well. So, I mean, I look at it like that. I say more power to them. If they can get up here and talk to brothers and brothers want to listen, hey, that's on them. That's on them. But I appreciate you having me up here, Brother BMT, man. I'll holler at you, man, in the next couple of days, man, because I need to talk to you about some things. But peace to everybody. Peace, Lady Michelle. Peace, Angry Snowman. Man, I'll see you on the other side. Peace.
Thank you, brother X. Thank you, brother X. Next one, Snowman, and then after that we'll let Attorney Michelle go ahead. Snowman.
Oh, final thoughts? I missed it because my internet
Final
kicked
thoughts.
me. Right on. I just think that, honestly, man, a lot of these women, I find it, they need to stop with this whole, I'm going to go out, live my best life, have hot girl summer, go out and spread my vagina around and use it like it's a Bluetooth device, and then get pissed off when they reach a specific age in life that men don't want them anymore. You know, you can't go out and take your best years. You know, as some woman stated in the chat earlier, you know, why am I going to give all my youth and my beauty to someone for him to walk out on me? Well, who's really giving away? Who's taking your youth and your beauty? Is it a man, or is it you going out and giving your youth and beauty to multiple men and then expecting one man to accept you after you've used it up? You know, there's got to be some kind of counterbalance here. You know, and I don't know what it is. Personally, I think that people should just go out, stop going out and, you know, spreading them legs so damn much. Personally, you know, I think that should be something that's reserved for when you're married and for married couples, and that's why we have this issue. Other than that, you know, as far as, I don't necessarily have a problem with some of these women, like X said, getting up on these platforms, but I do take issue with, I guess I would take issue if it was my wife. I'm not having my wife up here, you know, spending all of her time hanging out with a bunch of dudes and this, that, and the other. I'm not cool with that. You know, hence that's why she's my wife, because she doesn't do that. But that's all I got, man.
Obviously BMT has stepped away. So everyone, this is Attorney Michelle giving you my final thoughts. First of all, I agree with the gentleman when he says that the reason he's married to the woman he is married to is because she is the fit for him. As I said, if you believe in God, you believe in heaven. I was taught at an early age that heaven would reunite you with your husband. Some of y'all are going to get up in heaven and be kind of embarrassed because you're going to have so many men that you done slept with that you really might want to go to hell, because you might have fewer men in hell that you've interacted with than you have in heaven. That being said, date for a purpose. If you want to get married, understand the rules of engagement. Understand the risk involved. If you are with a man that you are not married to, understand the risk of unwanted pregnancy. Understand the risk of having your child around another woman. These things you must think about while you're sitting across from him on the first, second, or third date. Men, think about the fact that you could be paying of your paycheck for the next 18 years. Is it worth it? Those are the most practical tips I can give men and women, is to think about your time and your money when you're out there dating. So peace out, everybody.
Thanks for the show, BMT.
No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we like to thank you guys for coming through. Thank y'all for supporting the channel. Like and share the stream. Thank y'all for supporting us and our content. We like to thank y'all and give a special shout out to the TPOT channel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys have been a wonderful audience. I'm your host, BMT. Shout out to Truism for giving me the content. See you guys later. Y'all take care. Peace. Have a good day.